Alright, this is a highlight video from GreatStockPicks.com, February 28th, our live trading chat room. This is PANL. Now we had Chicago, there's the symbol right there. We had Chicago PMI coming out 15 minutes in. So 2-minute candles here. I projected this, I can't remember if I had the projector on, I think I did, and told people that this one could be a nice turn here. After the gap up on earnings for panel, this could be a nice turn here, and a break above this little 2-minute candle here could be a good long idea with a stop below this 2-minute candle. Having said that, I didn't take it because I'm not brave enough to take an entry right into Chicago PMI. But look what happens. Anyone that took it, the entry was 30.18, worst case stop 29.85, and from 30.18 right through the high of the day, over 31.50, and actually held the stop all day and ended up going higher. Went over, switched to 5s here, went over 32.50. So real nice move there on whatever it was, 20, maybe 30 cents risk. I don't know, $2.50 on 30 cents risk. Again, you had to be brave, or you can always, it doesn't take a lot of guts if you trade these small, knowing that you're trading it near the open. Having said that, again, I didn't mess with it, but still worked beautifully for anyone that took it. Basically said the same thing on MNST, on 2-minute candles here, which would have been an entry, try to get my tools going here, which would have been an entry right there, and the stop would have been all the way down here. Even then, you can see it still made a huge move. Reason for the call: a strong stock or a strong gap up, oftentimes on a stock that's gonna be strong after the first pullback, I use the 8-period moving average 2-minute candles, okay? And this came nicely down, bottoming tail, and held the stop. Again, PMI, I didn't take it. I did call this again for an actual call, not an early morning suggestion. Called it long right about there, 52.95. Worst case stop, 25 cents below, and we got almost a dollar move there, and that was that ended up being a nice trade. 93-cent move on 25 cents risk without stopping out. So that was the other call in MNST, and that was basically the fact that you had an early high, you had a lower high here, and then you had this real tight flag. Okay, so I'm thinking back through 53, you're probably going to take out this high, probably going to light up the new highs ticker. So that was the reason for the call, and that worked pretty nicely. I mean, it rolled over later, but you know, when you get almost a dollar move, we're sellers into that kind of move. Okay, let's see, what else did I call today? Mako. Mako was very strong yesterday. Let's go to the daily real quick. Mako has a lot of shorts in it. I knew we had earnings yesterday, so that was behind us. Big volume. So this lands it on our watch list, okay? Thinking we could get a short squeeze. Switch to 5-minute candles for today. And my first call, I made 2 calls on Mako. Both of them worked. My first call was very simple, nothing tricky. There's the 5-minute high, right? There's the early low. If this comes up and takes out the early high after the big move we had yesterday, okay, big move, there's a good chance this is going to continue. So my first call on Mako was 12.21 with a low of day stop. Now that's kind of a wide stop. There's the trigger. These are 5-minute candles. So again, you had Chicago PMI, but that worked, and it ran all day. Went all the way from 12.21 to 12.85. Now I gave actually a better call that had a higher entry, but the stop was much tighter. Okay, now keep in mind, I wouldn't have taken this at 12.21 and then let it come all the way down to the low of the day. You can always tighten up your stop. But then this put in an early high then after the first half hour of 12.39. Okay, then it bounced off the 20-period moving average. But what I liked about this entry, you see this candle right here? It approached the high of the day. Okay, so here's your early high. We know Mako's got a lot of shorts in it. We know it was strong yesterday. We know it's been strong this morning. So here's your early high. It's approaching the early high again, and then sellers come in right here. These are 5-minute candles. So this became easy. I just called it long if these sellers fail. It's that simple. 12.39 right over this candle, and a stop right below this candle, 12.31. You know, keeping in mind the longer term setup from yesterday and this morning, this one has a good chance to rally. Okay, so there's the trigger this time. 12.39, the stop was what, 8 cents below, and it based for a while, never stopped out, and again went to 12.85. So even though that was a little over 40 cents in our favor, it was only on 8 cents risk. But both Mako calls worked, and then Real quickly, I think my other highlight here, CWH, has been crazy lately. Just crazy. And so a couple of our members kind of put this on my radar when it looked like this, okay? So you had the gap down, you had an early high of day break, and then a long base. This was as simple as calling a high of day break. On a stock that's that crazy, when you light up the new highs ticker, after, you got the early high of day break and then a long base, oftentimes the next break is the big one, okay? So the early high here was 2209. Right here. 2209. And then you had this long base right here, okay? So it breaks the high of the day, doesn't come down and take out the low of the day. So now it becomes interesting if it breaks this 2209. So I called it at 2210 when it looked like this. Worst case stop, 21 cents below. And right there's the trigger. And I mean, within 10 minutes, we're up over $1. I love it when that happens. It was going right into lunchtime too. Look at the people, volume pouring in, and that's exactly what I said could happen. I said this lights up the new highs ticker. This could be a nice trade. And look at this. It actually ended up closing near the highs of the day, but it went to $23.58, $1.48 in our favor. And actually, not that I would have held this overnight because I'm not that brave, but let's see. After hours, this actually went over 25 and is sitting at 23.90 right now. Again, I wasn't holding this overnight. Had a nice big lunchtime trade in that one. And I think that was all of my calls for the day. Let me double check real quick here. No, I'm sorry. I had a flat trade in YUM, Y-U-M, and then 2 late day, tried some thin stock trades. I called, let me get the after hours off of there. I called UNXL because it was so strong yesterday. And then today, it broke its early high. And then on this pullback, came down, but didn't pull back very much and put in this tight base. So I gave a long idea of 2402 when it looked like this. And a worst case stop, 2379. Look what happens. It jumped right over my order, by the way. I told everybody use limit orders on these. Anyone that got filled, it went all the way to 25. So a quick buck over the next half hour or so. But it jumped over my order. I missed it. And then RKUS, another thin stock. I said over this base here, 2342 could really get it going. And it went pretty quickly to, I'm sorry, 2142. It went pretty quickly to 2172. I really liked this on a 15-minute time frame over the last 5 days. It's a beaten up stock and had this really nice tight base right here. I thought we would at least see 22, but didn't happen. I got what I call sandwich money out of that one. And keep in mind, guys, I don't usually call these thinner stocks, but UNXL and RKUS both have a propensity to move nicely when they move. So no harm done on either one of them, but not much money made unless somebody got a lucky fill on UNXL. But otherwise, really, really nice day. CWH, Monster, MNST, Mako, a couple good entries. Panel for anyone that was brave enough, PANL on that 2-minute call. Just a pretty nice day. All right, I'm going to quit babbling. We'll talk to you tomorrow.